What's up, everybody? Welcome to the live tonight. Just do me a favor and share this out with a few people. If you can share this out to a few people and text me right now, 202-335-3322. I either hook you up with 1,000 leads or a free copy to my book, The Art of Delegation. It's going to teach and show you exactly how to delegate the things in your business to take your business to the next level. We got an amazing live stream tonight. I'm going to be providing nothing but value all the way throughout the month of December. If you've been struggling with generating leads, I'm going to give you some information that's going to really change the way you generate leads and how you curate leads in your business. Let me give a shout out to a few people. Southeast DC. Man, appreciate the DC family, man. That's where I'm born and raised, Washington, DC, Southeast DC to be exact, Bitter Road. Yeah, that's my stomping grounds. Augusta, Georgia. I love me some Georgia. I don't really like Atlanta, but Augusta, pretty okay. But, I want to make sure that everybody understands that tonight is going to be teaching. At any time that you have questions, do me a favor now and start to drop your questions inside of the comments so that way I can get to your questions later. And we're just going to get started, right? We're going to talk about lead generation, how to take your lead generation to the next level, and what are some things you can be doing when it comes to lead generation. Because lead generation consists of a whole bunch of other stuff, and you got to understand it. Sorry, texting my little sister. Okay, let's get started. So, what is lead generation, right? And how could you get to 3 to 5 hot leads a day? That's what a lot of people may be wondering. Lead generation is all you're doing is just identifying a person you want to target, and you're doing it in a consistent way through multiple channels, right? So one of the easiest things to do right now if you're on a budget and you can't produce high quality leads is one thing: virtually drive for dollars. Back in 2018, 2019, I hired 2 VAs. All they did for me was virtually drive for dollars in zip codes and markets that we identify as up and coming, promising, and people are already currently investing. If you can invest 1 or 2 hours a day in virtually driving for dollars, using a Deal Machine app, I don't even have the promo tool, but if you go to Deal Machine and sign up for it, it's a great thing. What's going to happen is you're going to see deals that's on no one's list, that's on no one's radar, because you're actually seeing it in real time. You can actually drive for dollars too if you have the car and the fuel and the time and build your list in these proprietary areas. But most people like myself are virtual wholesalers. So you can't go to every single place you're doing business with and drive for dollars physically. But what you can do is take your existing VA. If you already have a VA, take your existing VA and give them 2 hours a day or hour a day. Man, we was generating probably 200, 300 leads a day. And then when we skip trace them people, now, the virtual dollar list is going to be harder to find accurate numbers. So I'm going to give you some stuff that I give to our coaching clients. It's this software called Truth, Truth, Truth Finder, Truth Finder.com. You want to sign up for that? I think it's like $20 a month. I don't know. But the point is, when you put that address in Truth Finder or that person's name in Truth Finder, you're going to get a lot of different phone numbers, close family members, people that may be related, neighbors, people that's in the vicinity of that place, because a lot of your quality leads are going to be hard to find people. So sign up for Truth Finder, and it's like $12.99 or $19.99. I don't know. It just come off my card automatically. It's like less than $20 a month. And when you sign up for Truth Finder, you're going to have your VA go through your driving for dollars list. All of the leads that you couldn't find bulk skip tracing through whatever services you're getting from skip tracing, then you're going to go to Truth Finder, and then you're going to have them individually search and find you 2 or 3 people. Then, if that don't work, then you'll put them on a list to do what we call our deep back-end skip tracing, where we're going to go look up the person's name, we're going to go look up their information, and we're going to find some type of obituary associated with it. And most people obituaries usually includes the children or the family left behind. And then you're just going to go on TrueFind and type that person's name, first and last name, and then the city they're from. And then you get that number. And then you just need to create a script. You're going to create a text message sequence in the script and a cold calling sequence in the script that's going to grab their attention, right? Now, I can't teach you all of that, right? That's something that you got to figure out on your own. But you're going to create a script that's going to grab their attention so that you can let them know that you're interested in buying the property. Now, how are you going to get 3 to 4 leads a day? Because you're going to be talking to people that no one else can get a hold of. You know what I mean? So that's the whole strategy. More work equals more results. So I personally couldn't do this all day, every day by myself. The easiest thing for you to do is to have your existing virtual assistants, or if you don't have a virtual assistant, or create a budget for this, right? So a part-time VA from our agency costs around $4 an hour. If you just hire somebody at 20 hours a week to do what I'm talking tonight about and teaching you, you literally can generate an extra 300, 400, 500 leads a week that your team can call and text. And I will single line dial call these numbers, and I will rotate my list. So for every 20 calls or 25 calls, I would change my number out in my dialer, right? And that's one of the things that a lot of you guys are not understanding, is that the cell phone couriers are cracking down on robocalls and back-to-back calls. So you want to invest in multiple phone numbers per list. And that's the biggest thing that I see a lot of people struggle with right now, right? So Twilio is the big dog. There's nobody messing with Twilio right now. You have to, every software provider use some form of Twilio integration inside of their software. So majority of the time, the numbers that you're getting through CallRail, through REI Rail, through whatever, is coming from Twilio. So just make sure that you constantly rotate them numbers. So I see some of you guys telling your VAs or allowing your VAs to cold call 600-700 people on a shift, and they didn't even change their number. You have to cool that number down in order to get a better success rate. Another thing is when you're pulling a list and you're doing your marketing, you should have a 3-touch sequence where when you pull that list and you start marketing, you want to hit that list Mondays in the morning, Tuesdays in the afternoon, Wednesdays in the evening, and go back and forth, and then switch the numbers around. So there you can create a spreadsheet that assign the number, the 3 numbers for this list for this day, and vice versa. If you in a bunch of markets, then it's going to be a little more tedious. But that's when you start to nurture and develop your lead managers. Like, guys, your first VA, as long as they're solid, what makes the VA solid to me? A person that's attentive, a person that shows up to work consistently, a person that lacks excuses, and a person that's willing to learn and don't complain much, right? They just a straight workhorse. If you can get that out of your first VA hire, then you should be grooming them to be some sort of lead manager for you that understands your marketing, that understands how to pull your list, that understands the rotation of your list, and that understands the fairness of a workload to the other callers and text message people, right? And that's the biggest thing. So once you add this secret strategy to your arsenal of virtually driving for dollars and then identifying zip codes, if you're stuck and you don't know exactly what areas to focus on if you're virtually wholesaling, here's a tip. Write this down. You can literally Google, let's say, for example, Georgia. You're going to Google cities in Georgia by population, and you want to focus on cities between 25,000 and 95,000 population. And here's the kicker. You want to make sure these cities are no more than 45 minutes outside of your big metropolitan cities. So in Georgia, you probably have Atlanta, Augusta, all these bigger metropolitan cities, and you want to look at the sub-markets. That's no more than a 45-minute drive. What that is, because I used to flip houses back in Pennsylvania, so I know exactly what I'm talking about. Most fix and flippers will do deals up to 45 minutes from their backyard. So if you can find little towns and cities, 50, 60, 70,000 population, and you can see and check that people doing deals there, then you can literally start to drive for dollars there. You can, well, here's the 4 lists I would start. I would do a drive for dollars. I would do a zombie list. Like now, like the zombie list is going to be even higher because all of the 2-3 years of COVID not allowing the local cities and municipalities to not foreclose on properties, you're going to see a ton of people going through foreclosure now and start to get their properties taken from them. So I would do the zombie list. I would do a driving for dollars list. I would do people with multiple properties and low income list. What you can do is stack that type of list. Reach out to us to see how you can get a copy of that type of list. We'll hook you up. Also, what else I would do? I would just do a high equity vacant. Maybe it's showing up as vacant, and then I would just focus on a tax delinquent list. If you live in a tax deed state, I would double down on tax deed. And if you got the energy and you're not afraid, and you probably have a concealed weapon, or you're not afraid to talk to strangers, I would implement Saturday door knockings. I would go out on Saturday, get a list of properties that have significant equity in it, but that's about to lose their house through foreclosure or tax delinquent sale or whatever the case may be, and I would door knock. Bring a contract with you. If you're virtually wholesaling, then I would just consistently call them, right? And I would just follow up with that. Now, to close out your year, if you really want to add more leads to your arsenal, warm and hot leads, I will go back through my list of people that already said yes, I'm interested in the offer, but for some strange reason, they decided that they didn't want to, move forward, or they stopped answering the phone. Switch my number, switch my name, and reach back out to them. Instead of Antoine, hey, this is Melvin, giving you a call. Yeah, you talked to my partner, Antoine, a few months ago. I'm just trying to see where you're at with things. I know the end of the year is here, and I know for a fact that if you were to sell, I would love to set you up for a good cash offer. So come January, February, you can sell for the highest amount possible. That's what I would do. Other than that, guys, double down on your SOPs. Look at your KPIs. Look and see how many leads your virtual assistants are producing. If your VA is not producing 1 or 2 hot leads a day, then you might want to coach them up. If you yourself can't afford to meet with your VAs for 3 hours a week, that's Mondays, 1.5 hours, Wednesdays, 1.5 hours, and then Friday, overview, week recap meeting, then I definitely say figure that out. If you still can't figure that out, we have a program called VA Mastery Premium where we work with your VAs for 2 hours a week, coach them up and teach them different things. Your team need to be trained consistently and being worked with and being polished up. You can't just hire a VA and then set it and forget it. It's not like one of them infomercials. You got to continue to develop your employees and making sure that they get the information that they need in order to accelerate and grow your business. If you're thinking this information I'm providing you is anything of value, do me a favor and drop some emojis down into the comments. If you're on Facebook Live, I most likely can't see your comments because the connection from StreamYard to Facebook is really weird for the last couple of weeks. But if you're on YouTube, just show your brother some love and drop some emojis down, and we go from there. Let me answer a few questions before I move more into lead generation, how to get that 2 to 3 hot leads a day, and what you should be doing once you get the leads today and what that should look like. Anthony asks, how much capital should we ideally start with if you're a newbie? So if you're brand new and you're new, I definitely recommend minimum of $1,500 a month commitment to your business. Now, if you can't afford to finance your business at $1,500 a month, what does that $1,500 a month go towards? It goes towards your virtual assistant salaries, up to 2 VAs, as well as your supporting software and any other skip tracing you may need. Now, you might not spend a ton of money on skip tracing. If you got virtual assistants, you can manually do this by virtually drive for dollars, build your list that way, and then turn around and then use something like a True Finder. And then it take hours, yes, but you're paying $4 an hour. So if they can, if you divide $4 an hour to what skip tracing costs, if they can outpace that, then it's worth the investment, right? But other than that, I recommend 1,500 starting out. If you big dog and you trying to go all out, I say $4,500 a month. That'll get your whole team of people, virtual assistants, text message marketing, going really deep into what you got going on, and you can start to accelerate results. Now, here's the secret. You got to understand your close ratio. See, people put all the pressure on the virtual assistants that think it's their fault, the reason why the business isn't moving forward, when the actual person who's on the phone making offers haven't had any type of sales training. So real estate is made up of 4 pillars, and you're going to be hearing me talk about this a lot more. We talk about this to our one-on-one clients, and I've been in the box clients, but we're going to talk about it to the public because it's my obligation to tell you the information that we know. One is lead generation, right? Outbound marketing, lead generation is very effective. What is outbound marketing? Cold calling, text message marketing, emails, all that type of stuff. Then you have what we call acquisitions and sales. That's the second pillar to your business. So you have to have training to learn how to persuade people to do business with you. No one is just going to accept your offer because it's a good offer. It has to be some type of persuasion and psychology going on with that. And then the third is dispo, right? How many times you ever seen a person, yeah, I got my deal. I got my first deal on the contract. And then 4 days later, they back in that same Facebook group. Can someone help me find a buyer for this deal? Because they don't understand disposition. The same energy that you put into lead generation, as calling every day consistently, been on the phones with the sellers and the people that you're prospecting with, should be the same energy that you give your disposition side of the business, which means that you guys should be pulling cash buyers and talking to fix and flippers and buy and hold investors and calling them up and having conversations with them every day, just as much as you talk to cold and warm leads from the seller side of things. So your third thing is your disposition. Once you understand and build relationships with people and where their price point, especially as we've seen this market shift, right? You've seen a lot of buyers who was buying 75% ARV scale back to 65% ARV. But if you're not on the phone talking to them, hey, Antoine, I know we did a few deals this year. I'm just curious, what's your buy box right now? You got to give every investor a buy box. Like, what is their parameters and what they're willing to buy and what is their risk tolerance? And if you don't know that, you're just shooting in the dark, just sending people deals, people are going to not answer the emails for you anymore. They're going to stop replying to your text messages. They're not going to take you serious anymore because you're wasting their time. Send them the stuff that they need and want. So that way, when you text them, they know, oh shit, Antoine texted me. It must be money. Let me answer the phone. And if you're not doing that, you're going to struggle with selling your deals. Now you're going to have to go to some big box disposition company that's going to rip you off and not going to pay you what you should deserve because you don't have no negotiating power. So 3 is the disposition pillar. And then the 4th one, even your favorite guru don't even teach you this, which is transaction coordinators. Most deals fall apart at the closing table or in the process of doing transaction coordinating. What does that mean? Managing and upkeeping a title company, making sure that they have everything that they need from both parties, the seller and your buyers, making sure that everybody's happy, making sure that sellers cooperate and turning in all the information at a sufficient time so that you guys can make the closing table. Talking and dealing with your cash buyer, even after they sign an assignment agreement, making sure that he still has the funds, making sure that his hard money lender and everybody's happy, the appraisal came back, any little thing he needs, making sure he's very compensated with. And like I said, making sure that the title company has everything they need to have a fair, quick closing. That's transaction coordinating. Now, imagine you trying to do all of this yourself. Now, at the beginning, it may work for a lot of you guys. With the luck, the power of luck, maybe you had an uncle that was, had a house that he just won because his mom passed away, and he decided to let you sell it for him or buy it from him or whatever the case may be. You might get lucky once or twice a year from situations like that. But if you want to have a well-rounded structured business, you have to master the 4 pillars. And in order to master the 4 pillars, you have to have people on your team that has a specific role and job for these different 4 pillars in order to make this possible. Where to go to get VAs? You go to me. I've been doing this since 2018. Now, there's a bunch of people out there selling VAs too. But the difference is we provide a 6-month guarantee of service or warranty on our VAs. If you're serious about hiring a VA, our VAs are $4 an hour. Now, there's 2 ways you can hire a VA. You can pay us a flat fee for our training fees and get your VA of $499. Or if you're wise and smart, if you never worked with a VA before, you can hire a VA through our VA Mastery Program, which is, you get the training and you get the resources and the videos that come with managing and hiring a VA, teaching you how to do the payroll, how to, build a company culture, all of that good stuff. So if you're looking for a VA, do me a favor and text me 202-335-3322. And we'll set up time to get on the phone with you to talk about your needs, to figure out what package that you fit in, so we can help you get your VA. Now, if all of this sounds overwhelming, guys, don't worry. It is overwhelming. It's supposed to be. It's called running a business. If all this sounds overwhelming, you've been stuck on YouTube, still trying to figure it out, you still can't get consistently 2 to 3 leads a day, or you still can't get consistently talking to multiple people a week on the phone and making offers, and you can't hire the right people, and you tried and you bought this course, you bought that course. Well, the problem is you need implementation. So with our Business in a Box program, we hold your hand and set up everything for you from A to Z. And it's really turnkey, you're really robust. We put you through the sales training, the acquisition training. We put you through the disposition training. We teach you about transaction coordinating. We give you all of our internal SOPs. We give you everything you need to be successful. If you're interested in that, text me Business in a Box to 202-335-3322. Yes, we use IQ Dial. The owner is very hands-on. Just call him. Maury here, answer the phone for you. He's on California time, so if you call him at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, he's probably still in bed asleep. Give him a call, text him, email, and he'll get back to you ASAP. So IQ Dial, to me, I had Call Tools, I had Mojo, I had Zen-Call. I think they changed it to something else, Ready Mode or Ready Dial. I don't know. I had all the major dials over the years. And honestly, IQ Dial is the easiest thing and the most efficient thing and the most affordable thing that's currently in the market. I stand on it. I don't even have an affiliate. I sent them 300 customers this year. I ain't make $1. I don't care. Because when you truly believe in something for your clients and you know that it's going to get them results, sometimes you put that money to the side and tell them what they need to know. So IQ Dial, $65 a month, and it's very robust. Most VAs can learn it in less than 1 day, and it's easier to use. It's not all these crazy updates in 3.5 and 2.0. None of that stupid shit. Is literally a workhorse. So I definitely recommend IQ Dial, and go ahead and sign up for that as soon as possible. So back to generating leads, guys. You guys make sure that you're staying consistent, making sure every day, Monday through Saturday, you're generating leads. I'm telling you, you're leaving a lot of money on the table by not allowing your VAs to follow other people on Saturdays. Now, I don't really recommend Sundays. You can still cold call and call people on Sundays. I just think that it's disrespectful and tasteless. That's just my personal opinion. But if you set the expectation, like let's say, for example, if you are doing acquisitions and you set the expectation, maybe you talk to a client on Saturday and you guys set the expectation that you're going to call them tomorrow, Sunday, which is Sunday, then, more power to it. But to structurally just call people all day Sunday, I think you're going to piss more people off than anything. Because Sundays is a day for people to be sad, some people at church. Imagine you at church and someone's calling you about, hey, I'm trying to buy your house. You're not going to be happy. So that's just my opinion. And then Sundays is a time to give your team a rest. Let them take that day off, and then, they can spend time with their children. Even in the Philippines, a lot of the Filipinos, they're very religious. So if you can give them that Sunday off, they will love you and respect you even more for allowing them to take Sundays off. So But then when Monday come around, you have a stack schedule for them. But like I said, make sure that you have a bunch of numbers in Twilio. I think they're like $1.20 a month per number. It's dirt cheap. Make sure you have a bunch of numbers in Twilio and making sure that you're rotating them numbers. I say if you're going to cold call, probably no more than 200 calls a number. So like once you get to the, like, let's say for example you got a list of 600 people. So once you get to that 200 call, then you pause the dialer and then you add a new number to the call ID and you start back the dialer and call from that number. And you're going to see your pickup rate still, really better. So on average, to get 2 to 3 leads a day, how big your list would need to be, how many contacts. It's not about your list. It's about the details of the type of leads that you're producing. I don't know if you wasn't watching the YouTube at the beginning, but we talked about the easiest way to get high quality leads is to virtually drive for dollars. Pick some zip codes and some areas that you want to start. If you don't know zip codes areas, I like to focus on zip codes and areas and cities that's about no more than 45 minutes outside of the big cities. So the easiest way to tell, like you say, list of cities and Georgia by population. Let's say, for example, you found a bunch of cities outside of Georgia, Marietta, Georgia, and all of that. You type that in, you like it, you add that to your list, and then you pull the different zip codes, right? So that's one way that you can kind of really analyze, making sure that you understand the zip codes and making sure you understand what people are buying. Also, you can use Propstream to kind of go in there and figure out what flippers are flipping it. Like go pull the flippers list in Marietta, Georgia, and just look at what's the current zip codes on that flippers list. And look for the common zip code you're saying, and then maybe target that zip code first, because clearly they're buying houses and deals there in that particular zip code, right? So one of the things I want my clients to understand when we work with them is we don't want you shooting in the dark. We want you to be a sniper when it comes to lead generation. Because if you can get the lead generation down pat and you have a customer avatar and you know who you should be talking to on the phone, by the time you get on the phone, you already know their situation. That's why we like low income, we like bad credit, and we like senior citizens. Because them are the typical people that accumulate enough equity to sell their house for 50, 60 cents on the dollar and still walk away with a crazy amount of cash. So you got to ask yourself, does it make sense? Now, that's when creative financing come in when a person has bought their house 3 or 4 years ago, and they don't have equity, but they have flexibility. They're willing to do whatever to get rid of it. So I don't teach that because I don't personally do that. So we don't teach what we don't do. But when it comes to virtual wholesaling, we definitely show you exactly how to get these deals by targeting the people that has enough equity to be able to do that. So to answer your question, I don't really think it's about how many leads, but I definitely say conservatively, if you can have a list of maybe 5,000 to 20,000 properties, it'll be good because it'll give your team time to churn through lists, work. It'll be a long grind. Versus if you only have 100 properties and you're trying to hire a VA, you're literally pissing away money. So I definitely say stack up as much leads as possible. And if you got to move to the next county, the next city, the next state over, it's okay if you're virtually wholesaling, because literally you're going to be doing everything over the phones anyway. Somebody asked me, do I have a link? Yeah, I got a link. Let me get you that link. If you guys need the IQ Dial link, text me IQ Dial link to 202-335-3322, and we'll work on getting you that link between today and tomorrow. But like I said, guys, lead generation is an art, right? You can pull a list of 5,000, 20,000 people, and you won't generate as much leads as a person who has a probate list or driving for dollars list or a divorce list or child support list. Like, you have to be very intentional who the people you're targeting, right? It's like, think about a company, Coca-Cola or Pepsi, for example. They won't just go buy ads to put on TV without understanding who is the person they should be targeting that would drink this Coca-Cola, right? So they understand their demographic. So that's where Propstream comes in, when you're able to, use it like a bartender and make these different concoctions a list, right? I want to target people who have multiple properties that have multiple liens with multiple properties, right? That's a list that, hey man, it could be a lot of motivation there. So it all boils back down to your ability to talk to people and make connections and build rapport. So I think once you get past the lead generation part, you have to become a good listener and pay attention and listen to what the sellers are telling you and take good notes and use that to be able to establish rapport and make an offer. And that's what we show you guys in our acquisition manager training, how to make a proper offer that makes sense, that it get a person brain buzzing to the point that they want to sign a contract with you. So if you can follow these basic things, guys, I'm going to leave this YouTube video up. I'm not going to be stingy. If you can follow these basic things, I guarantee you get 2 to 3 hot leads a day by virtually driving for dollars, by pulling niche specialty lists. If you can't find people that's on probate, don't worry. There's so many other ways you can pull a list that can show you a person being probate, right? Maybe you can pull a property that's vacant, that has multiple, that owns other multiple properties, but all of them are vacant. That'd be a good way to indicate that someone passed along and no one's taking care of their properties. Also, you can pull stuff that has like code violations. A lot of cities like Florida, Texas, you can go online and pull these lists. You don't even need to go ask nobody for permission. It's there, it's public records. So just call and check your cities and counties and see what types of lists are available to you guys. And then you can stack different lists. So start using Propstream List Automated. So when you get these specialty lists, then you can bring it back into the Propstream and say, okay, here is a list of code violations, but show me everybody that has a code violation that has significant equity in their property. Because now you know that, even though you have all these outstanding liens, you have enough equity in your property that you can put a little money in your pocket and you can pay off these liens without me having to come on my pocket for stuff. So just being patient, guys, making sure you're structured. Like I said, you at the beginning, you can get away with doing this by yourself, but eventually you're going to need a team. If you can't afford a team, pick up a side hustle. You can use this cell phone. You can literally get a bunch of side hustles, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Instacart, so many apps that you can use to, even if you just work an hour a day on the app, that alone will pay for your cost of your VAs and all of that stuff. So it's pretty much no excuses going to 2023. Any more questions? Drop your questions. I appreciate each and everybody on here. If you want to book a strategy call with us, matter of fact, what is the link to the strategy call? I don't even know the link to our strategy call. But if you want to book a strategy call, actually, no, just go to CEO929.com, book a call, and we'll get on the phone, and we'll figure out what services we can match you with that makes sense for your business. If you're not generating at least 2 to 3 leads a day, or if you're not doing at least 2 to 3 deals a month, you definitely should be on the phone with us trying to figure out how can we, rejuvenate your business and get your business back on the right track, because clearly it's going sideways. What else do I have for you guys? Like I always said, you should be simultaneously building. You should be simultaneously building your both of your lists. You should be building both your cash buyers list as well as building your list of potential motivated sellers. Yeah, so if you share this live, just send me proof that you shared the live, text it to 202-335-3322, and we'll send you a copy of the Art of Delegation ebook, right? But like I said, if you want to book a call with us and you're trying to get to the next level, go to CEO929.com, and there's a button to say book a call. So CEO929.com, book a call. We'll take good care of you. We'll show you exactly what you should be doing in your business. If you're currently struggling, don't worry. We have a lot of resources for you to help you out. But, my biggest thing is if you're not working with a VA right now, you definitely should hire a VA, even if you haven't closed your first deal. Because let me tell you something, the things a VA can do for you, it's always going to be a $3 to $4 hour thing. So why not leverage that 3 to 4 hours? $3 to $4 hour let a VA do it. So, example, if you're spending 40 hours a week cold calling, right? What time do you have for your acquisition calls? Or what energy do you have for your acquisition calls? So by the time you get a lead and ready to call them, you so mentally worn out from cold calling, you can't even have a good enough conversation to even produce results for yourself to lock up deals. So like I said, you can do DoorDash. I'd rather for you to work 3-4 hours a week DoorDashing to be able to pay for that 40-hour week VA at 160. You can make $160 in 4 hours on DoorDash, right? At the peak time, obviously. $160 in 4 hours of DoorDash. Let me ask you a question. It's a yes or no answer. Would you rather work 4 hours DoorDashing, right? Would you rather work 4 hours DoorDashing to pay for your VA salary? Or would you rather cold call for 40 hours? So that's what you gotta ask yourself. But ask yourself this: once you cold call for, once you work for 4 hours, and now you got 36 hours back to yourself, you can take that 36 hours and inject that into your business by being on the phones, door knocking, doing something a little more productive that's going to get you your results a lot quicker. So that's one of the things I want you guys to understand: the power of time and utilize your time in the art of delegation. And to do this. So I encourage everybody, go get a part-time gig to pay your VA salaries until you cash your first check. Because let me tell you something, the best investment is yourself. Because when you put up all that money and you start to, now you start to do deals, you start to cash these $18,000, $17,000 checks, your VA salary is only like $6K for the year. So if you was able to do a $20,000 deal in a month, 2 months, hey, listen, the rest of the year, that's all in your pocket, because you know what I'm saying, that salary is already taken care of. So sometimes you gotta look at things from a long-term aspect versus, man, I gotta pay this VA $100 a week. What the hell is $100 a week when they're doing majority of the footwork for you? So ask yourself, how can I get better at lead generation? What am I going to do to get 2 to 3 leads a day? And how can I get everybody I talk to an offer? Right, everybody you talk to on the phone, you should get some form of offer. And then, even if you know it's not a good offer for them, set the expectation. Hey, listen, I know that the offer I'm gonna give you today might not be something you need or want, or something that you might not take right here, but I still want to give you this offer. And if you like the offer, we can move forward. If not, we can revisit this conversation a few weeks from now to see if I can improve on my offer. And literally, that's it. Sometimes when you set expectations with people up front and be real with them and let them know the circumstances, that letdown is a lot easier versus leading people on thinking you're going to do all this for them and you're not doing all of that for them. He said, good looking, Antoine. Appreciate you. I appreciate you guys, man. Hopefully I was able to provide value tonight for you guys. And hopefully if you implement these strategies, you should be able to see at least 2 to 3 leads, hot leads a day. And if you can do 2 to 3 hot leads a day, the average new investor or the average investor that don't have significant experience as far as closing deals over the phone can get a contract for every 12 offers they make. So example, if you're producing 13, 14 leads a week, and every single person you made an offer to and your close ratio is 1 out of 12, theoretically, you can get your contract a week. And theoretically, you can get you 4 contracts a month. And theoretically, as you do the snowball effect, you can be closing two deals a month, 2 to 3 deals a month within, the next month. Because, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to close a deal. Because, you got title work, you got to clear title, and then you got to find a buyer, all that good stuff. So if you can stick to that plan and you know your numbers and you know the amount of work you got to put in, then you know what you need to go to do. So if you like every lead counts and you get a lead, and I see some people, they look at a lead, and if the people not saying that they only want 40% of the ARV, they tell their VAs, hey, this ain't a good lead. Hey, don't send me this stuff. You're wasting my time. No. You're wasting your time because you don't know what a person is going through, and you don't know what that conversation is like until you yourself, whoever's the acquisition manager, actually get on the phone with them and discuss their situation and figure it out from there. You can't assume, right? Assumption is the worst thing in business. You can't assume that because a person is asking 80%, 100%, 120% for the value of their house, that you can't work up a deal with them. That's the magic of being an acquisition person and getting on the phone and listening to them to figure out exactly how could you create a solution for them. See, some of you guys, once you crack the code that you're a solution provider, all you do is get paid to offer solutions that the traditional MLS couldn't offer that seller, then you're going to be making a ton of money. Simple as that. Any more questions before we get on out of here? I just want to make sure I answer as many questions as possible for you. And remember, TruthFinder, TruthFinder.com. You can use that to single look up people, skip trace, whatever. It actually gives you court records. It gives you family, next of kin, potential people they know. And you just got to get used to calling people. You got to get used to asking direct questions. I think a lot of people struggle because they're not willing to ask the tough questions to people in order to get the results that they're looking for. But like I said, if you're watching a replay, go to CEO929.com to book a call or text us, and we'll take good care of you and we'll help you out as much as we can. I'm going to wait about 45 more seconds just to make sure that anybody who's on here, have you ever had someone steal your deal? Yeah, a couple of times. But here's the thing. Things happen, right? Sometimes a person can persuade a seller to go with them. Sometimes it's a realtor. I had a realtor take my deal from me and give it to someone else. I could have reported them, but I'm a type of person, there's plenty of fish out here. The sea is so big that you couldn't catch all the fish if you wanted to. So that's how you got to look at deals, that, hey, man, there's a possibility that somebody could take my deal or could fall through. So what do? You continue to talk to more people and you continue to get deals on the contract because that's what you do. See, some of you guys, what you do is you get a deal on the contract and you put your business on vacation mode and you focus on that deal and cater to that deal until it closes, and then you open up your business. But now you got to restart the momentum all over again. So that's one of the things that we teach you guys is don't ever do that. If you have a 4-pillar business, like we talked about earlier on YouTube, that you should never stop marketing, you should never stop talking to prospects, and you should never stop making offers, no matter how many transactions you got on the contract. There should be somebody doing that for you. Toya asks, what does the business in a box include? It's a customized plan for you. It mainly includes we hire you VAs for you, set up the VAs, set up the SOPs for your VAs. Then we put you through all of our internal training. So you get access to our acquisition training, our disposition training, our transaction coordinator training. You get access to all of our different courses, and then you get to work with me for it depends on the package, but between 6 weeks to 6 months. It depends on what I'm offering at the time. So you can book your calls, you can get your questions answered. And I don't really call it coaching, I call it implementation. So, you can go get coaching from anybody out here, but the implementation side is setting everything up and getting you going and start to push your results is what we really focus on and double down on for our clients. So if you're sick and tired of buying courses or sick and tired of looking at YouTube videos and you feel like, why has my boat left the dock, then, reach out to us about the Business in a Box program. It's not cheap. It's definitely not crazy expensive, but it's definitely it's going to cost an investment. Just like anything that's good, it's going to cost a little money. So if you're interested, book a call with us to see if it makes sense for you. We will, if it do make sense, we'll take you in open arms and help you out. From the time of purchasing the Business in a Box and getting everything fully functional, I will disclose to you it takes about between 21 to 30 days, depending on how quickly you move to and get everything that we need to help you set everything up. So if you have that time, hey, we can have you a fully functional business within 30 days. So, yeah. Any other question, guys? And let me go back to that still a deal thing. Just protect yourself. Make sure that it goes back down to when you are, if you have a transaction coordinator or if you have Dispo, you should be doing these touches. So every week, if I say, for example, you got a deal on a contract, you should be talking to every party involved in that deal twice a week, minimum. I say 3 times a week, but definitely minimum twice a week. So the title company should reach out twice a week, Monday, Wednesday. The seller, Monday, maybe Thursday or Tuesday, or vice versa. It don't have to be all the same day. The buyer, same thing, twice a week. And that can minimize people coming in and infringing on your deal and talking to the seller and persuading them and all that, especially if you're struggling with securing a buyer or you're struggling with securing a closing date or you're struggling with securing a clean title. If any 3 of them things happen, you should over-communicate with the seller and ensure to them that, hey, listen, we got everything covered. Here's a few hiccups along the way, but this is what's going on. The more you keep people in the loop for things, when someone reach out to them, they can have clarity and say, oh, yeah, I'm working with somebody, he got it covered, blah, blah, blah. So that's what I say about making sure nobody steals deal. Now, one of the other things is don't just go blast your deal on Facebook. If you're blasting on Facebook, it's going to left a bunch of vultures on Facebook, right? So you want to, once again, you want to build your own list. And not even like some of these platforms, like a couple of these dispo platforms that everybody share information. I personally don't like it. That's why I stopped using them, because the issue is you don't know who's what. You got people just coming on there, looking at your deals and reaching out to the homeowners and trying to steal them from you. You got people pretending to be cash buyers when they really not. And I just felt like a true businessman, a true investor, should have their own internal database that no one has access to but yourself. So I wouldn't like cross-sharing list and cash buy. Fuck that. Build your own list, build your own relationships with people, and go from there. That's my opinion. Any other questions before we get on out of here? Like I know I keep saying that, but I definitely want to make sure I answer as many questions as possible. Like I said, we're going to be doing a whole lot of. It's December, so it's the season of giving. So we're going to be doing a whole lot of stuff. So if you're not on our email list, head over to CEO929.com. Jump on our email list. We're going to be sending out a bunch of different things. Anybody who is struggling with generating leads, book a call. Figure out how we can help you. If you're struggling with hiring VAs, or if you never had a VA before you hire a VA, book a call with us to see how we can help you. And if you've just been doing this well over 3-4 months and you still feel clueless, book a call with us so we can figure out exactly how we can help you. Other than that, I appreciate you guys. I'll be back probably Thursday or Friday. I'm going to be going live multiple times a week. Nothing But Nuggets podcast is coming back. We got so much in store for you guys. I really appreciate you. Have a good night. And do me a favor, and if you're interested in anything, just text me. Let me make sure I put this out there. 335-3322, or go to the website. But text me, and we'll reply to you as soon as we receive your text message and answer any questions you may have. Other than that, it's your boy Antoine Campbell. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at CEO929. We post a lot of good information on it. Yeah. Beginning of the year, man, come see us. We here, man. We beginning of the year, middle of the year, end of the year, Labor Day, St. Patrick's Day, Memorial Day. It don't matter. We out here. We got you. We'll take care of you. But other than that, man, see y'all. It's your boy Antoine Campbell. Follow me on Instagram. Talk to y'all later. And if you watching a replay, appreciate you for sticking to the whole replay.